Hey, what's up, everyone? Y'all know what's up. Got to make sure all the platforms are working properly. Check in Instagram. That looks good. Let me check LinkedIn. We just set this up. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. But welcome, though. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate y'all joining this live. Where we at? I think this looks good. Okay, great. That looks good. And once again, let me check on old Facebook, make sure Old Faithful working. Okay, great, 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 great. So welcome to this live, y'all. This is Cloud Confidence Clinic. This is really how to build a mindset and land a cloud role in this day and time. We feel certain things. We have a lot of frustration. We have a lot of imposter syndrome. We have a lot of fear. And this is the time that I want to just help you reshape and reframe your mindset so you can just build your career the right way and think the way that you probably never thought to think before, right? So, if for those who don't know me, my name is Broadus Palmer. I'm a cloud career coach and founder of Level Up in Tech, where we help make career transitioners learn cloud engineering by gaining experience in solving problems and shaping their way of thinking as a cloud engineer. And then we help them land high paying roles. And we do that by just giving them the experience that they don't have to waste time on the content and projects and everything that don't really move the needle for them. All right. So if you can hear and you can see me well, just put the LU in the chat. I just want to make sure you can see and hear. Because internet can be glitchy. So just want to make sure everything is everything. Just do me that favor. LU in the chat if you can hear and see me well. I hope your weekend has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I see the LU. I hope the weekend has been wonderful. I hope you spent it with family. Went to church, did all that good stuff. You probably went to the club on Saturday. I don't know what you did, but out of all of that, I hope that you dedicated some time to your goals because those things are priority as well. We was just talking about just priorities in itself, and maybe this is where the conversation will go. But a lot of things I say here is just going to be reminders, right? Sometimes it's not going to be new. Sometimes you need to be reminded of the things that you said and how to get them. So a lot of us look at the industry right now and we say, hey man, this is, I'm tired of being a banker. I'm tired of being a construction worker. I'm tired of being a truck driver, right? How can I work in tech and really make the same amount or even better salary and not have to stress? I want something that's challenging. So number one, let me post this. Let me post this in the chat real quick. Okay. For those of you who don't know what to do in cloud, you have no idea like what type of role that you will be good in. Go to cloudcareerquiz.com. This is a quiz that we took. This is a quiz that we created that allow you to take it and really it identifies what you're good at and things that you like to do, and it gives you a cloud role that you will crush it in. And then you can see, okay, this is a cloud role. What does this entail? And it tells you kind of like the day-to-day, the skills that you would need, and it tells you how much you can get paid. So if you're looking at this right now, go ahead and type in cloudcareerquiz.com, take the quiz while we talking, and then post your results here in the comments and I share. And we just talk about the reality of those things. So you should never let for instance, I had one person I was talking to today, and we're talking for a while, like probably maybe 2023, and they were like, hey, I'm still researching, I'm still trying to figure out. And it's like it's no reason that you should spend that much time reconning, right? Reconnaissance. You should not spend that much time. There's so many tools out here that can help you figure out what you are good at and what type of role in cloud that you can crush it in. And once again, if you just got here, This tool is one of them, cloudcareerquiz.com. All right. Now, let's give you the game, because we in it now. Once we understand this type of role that we could crush it in, now we'll start looking at these roles like on LinkedIn, or you can go to Indeed, LinkedIn. It's a new site called welcome to the jungle.com. It's a lot of startups that post their open positions there. You can go there. Teal, and is it teal.com? Let me make sure. Give me 1 second. Teal. Make sure it's tealhq.com. That's another site that can help you just look at these type of roles to understand like what companies are out there that's hiring for these roles, and job descriptions. That's number two. Because the second question you will have is like, well, how can I gain the skills, or what skills are needed to land these type of roles? And the job description is the key. The job description will tell you everything that you need to know about a role, the skills that you have, the skills that you need to have, the certifications if it's a degree that's required. All right. I posted a I posted a video today talking about, are degrees really worth it to get into tech? And this is my personal honest opinion. And this is just me. What I speak, you can take it as a grain of salt, but it doesn't mean it's factual all the way. This is just from my experience. My experience is this: we've never had any student that we've worked with that a company required them to have a college degree to get into a cloud DevOps role, cloud engineer role, a cloud FinOps role, SRE role, a cloud admin role, cloud operations role. No tech degree whatsoever. And from my experience, right, I worked with a few universities, and I'm not going to say their names, but I worked with a few universities that reached out to me to help build curriculum. And one university, really, you got to think about the degrees that they add these technical skills to. One university was trying to stretch a cloud practitioner, AWS CCP training into a 6-month semester, I guess what you would say, and add it to an interdisciplinary studies degree. And I was like, well, it doesn't take 6 months to pass a cloud practitioner. Like, we have people that are ready, and at that time, they were taking the cloud practitioner right then and there. But we have people that pass the cloud practitioner in 4 weeks, and you're building this curriculum out in 6 months. It's a lot of opportunity that's missing that we can really utilize to help a student gain the experience. You see what I'm saying? So, and at this time, like, it confused me because, and maybe I don't know too much about the university and how they operate with. Let me tell you what I mean. This university has, every university has a tech department, and this university has tons of cloud engineers, because it's attached to a hospital as well. So they have tons of cloud engineers. So why can't we take some of these cloud engineers to come into a classroom and really show how the university is solving problems for the healthcare industry? But they wanted to stretch this, and they wanted to use AWS training to do so. And it's just, I'm trying to think of the right thing to say, but I'm just going to say it. It just left me confused because I realize they don't know anything about the industry. Like, think about it. Like, when we talk, me and you, like, we're in these tech streets. Like, we're on the street. we got an ear to the pulse of the industry, meaning when people talk about new things and it comes from the streets. When we talk about new technology, using it to solve small problems, etc., we know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. They hire panels with full of people like me to give them feedback on what we're seeing in the industry to solve problems. And then our ideas, like for instance, cloud engineering department, we had, I think, help desk, we had cybersecurity. So they have different industry leaders for that. But they bring us in and we tell them what is needed, and then they go and build that around what we say and try to make great curriculum. And I was like, hey, you don't need 6 months of CCP. This is crazy. And one thing they told us was they couldn't help any of their students find a job. And I was like, well, why? It was like, we talked to like 100 companies and they all said that these students needed college degrees. And I'm like, we have never seen that ever. And 60% of the list that they had were companies that have hired our students without a college degree. So it was just crazy to me. And I was like, maybe because they're already studying for a degree, they just require that of them because you're adding this track to either a cloud computing, so I mean a bachelor's, or you're adding the studies to a interdisciplinary studies degree, whatever the case may be. But long story short, I found that universities they only have the theoretical knowledge. They are not up to date with the industry pulse, and they don't help people really understand how to solve problems. They'll take you through labs, right? And that's cool. But in order to really make it as a cloud engineer, you need to shape your way of thinking as well. And we didn't really see people come out of the university with a degree landing the roles that they wanted. And the crazy thing is, you see people who go to college and they come out of a 4 year career, I mean, 4 year studies in the university or college, and they're going to an internship. And I'm like, that's 4 years. And like, we add up how much a year costs. Let's say, like, if we're looking at VCU, we're talking like 50, 40, $50,000. So that's $200,000 that you spend on a degree to get an internship. Well, that's cool. You're getting your foot in the door. But we're looking at spending $200,000 and losing, let's say you're a transitioning adult right now and you want to go back to school. Maybe let's say you pay half. I don't know what the cost is. I never, went to a university. But let's say you pay $25,000 a year, so $100,000 for the degree. Well, if you're making 50K or 60K and you want to make 100K, 110K, you're literally losing 50K a year plus the money that you're spending. So let's say 75K a year, which times three, you do the math. You do the math. What was that? 225. You lost. When in 4 years you're just going to get an internship where in 4 years, if you self-studied, you hired a mentor or you invested into a boot camp program, whatever it is that actually can help you get the results. That first year you're learning, you get into a role. By year 3, you could be a senior. Listen, we've helped people become seniors in 4 years. They are senior level. Sometimes less than that. So in 3 years, you could be a senior level engineer because of what you've been exposed to and what you allowed yourself to get outside your comfort zone to learn in the job. Now, typical senior is 5, 7 years in the industry, but some people have been seniors in 3, 4 years. But if you're not a senior, let's say a high intermediate level paid engineer, when you're getting out of this, they're talking about internships where you might not even get. So the college degree to me is just obsolete when it comes to solving problems in tech. The better strategy for you is to learn what you need to learn and get into the job. And then if getting a college degree is important, first of all, let's rewind this back. Blah, 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 blah. If getting a college degree is important to you, by all means, get the college degree. Don't listen to me. Don't let brothers talk you out of getting a college degree if this is important for your legacy, your family, just for you in general, right? But if you want to go the smarter way, right, you can learn this stuff and get into a role and then have the company pay for your degree. That way, because like if you're going to college and you're like, I'm gonna get a degree, you don't even know if this is a return on investment. And most likely it's not. Do you understand? Like, so put it in this perspective. Look at it from this way. A lot of you have degrees right now in different areas. Are you using them? No, because we're trying to figure out how we can get into tech right now. So think about the money that you wasted on that degree. And most of you come out with the degree, and soon as you get out, you don't even use the degree. You go and get into something else. So you literally wasted that money in those 4 years to just go into a completely different industry and not even use the degree. So it does you no good for like right now, because you don't know what the return on investment is coming from with the degree, where you can just know that your return on investment is coming from you pushing yourself to solve problems as an engineer, to think like an engineer, get around people who are engineers, get led by people who are engineers, get led by people who've done this before, etc. Then when you get into the job, then you like, hey, this is what my growth chart looks like with this company, because I really love this company, right? This is where I want to grow and this is what I want to be. Now, okay, if I want to get into this position ultimately, and I know they're probably looking for somebody with a college degree because it's, I want to be a director, whatever, right? Then you let them pay for your degree. Because now you know where it's going. You know that the company is not going to spend money on your degree and not utilize it. All right. Now, the downside is if you get them to pay for your degree, you might have, obviously, you're going to probably have to sign something that says that you have to stay with them for a year or another 2. You can't just get the degree and take off and say, hey, sorry. Right. So think about that. Degree is not necessary. That doesn't prove you can do jack shit. Like, for those of you, and and I always say this is no shot at WGU. This is no shot at anybody who has like a bachelor's of cloud computing. But can you tell me like what, if you have one, because I want to know, what has that the bachelor's of cloud computing done for you so far? Like in your career, like when you got out of college, did it teach you how to solve real problems, or was it basically like a long certification? Because from what we're seeing in our experience, it's like a long-term certification, and people are willing to pay big money for it, but it doesn't teach you the foundations of, when I get into a job, what is the process of me solving the problem? And most of these colleges who are doing, or universities who are working on cloud, they're pretty much vendor specific too, right? So either they're doing AWS, they're doing Azure. I haven't seen GCP tracks in colleges right now, but they're doing either AWS or Azure, or they're doing both. It's a multi-cloud. You get a but the crazy part about it is they're vendor specific, and a lot of times, um, when you're working in a company, you won't be vendor locked in. I mean, well, rewind this. You won't be vendor specific in your tools. You may have a partnership with AWS, but guess what? You may be incorporating other third-party tools. For instance, for infrastructure as code, you may not use CloudFormation for AWS. You may use Terraform, right? You may use Jenkins. You may use GitHub Actions. You may use a lot of these tools that are not that vendor specific. So it doesn't teach you outside of this environment how you can solve problems with other tools. Now, you can learn the process, and the process is always the same, and the tools change. But I don't the colleges, the universities don't even teach you that process. All right. So here we go. I got a master's degree in cloud computing architecture from University of Maryland, and it hasn't helped. Think about it. Like, and I'm thank you for chiming in as well. University of Maryland, that is a huge school. University of Virginia, University of Maryland. Think about it. UNC, all of these colleges, universities, and companies want you to solve problems. That's it. You have to learn how to get out of your comfort zone. And sometimes CICD is my language. Yeah, listen, universities don't teach you things like that. They may teach you the tool, but really to push your workflow, and they give you a capstone, like you got a capstone. But like, what one project's going to help me do? Like, I need to do this over and over and over because I need to get ready to do this over and over and over in a row. Right? Your impact to a team comes from your critical thinking. Right? So like even if you don't know how to use something, but you know, like, okay, I've heard about this. Hey, let's check this out because I believe this might be the solution to our problem because we spending too much time on this, and this can cut our time to 30% on this project, etc. Hey, I haven't used it yet, but let me look at the documentation. I'm gonna figure out how to use it. I'll be back tomorrow and we're gonna get it. That's critical thinking because you're thinking of things that can move the project forward, move the priority forward in your sprint or whatever to get things done and to optimize and automate a lot of the process. That's just one drop in a bucket in tech. So I'm just posting some of these comments. I have a bachelor's and associate in IT, and while I don't regret the journey, I can't lie, the ROI hasn't worked out. Now, if y'all, for those of you who have the degrees, can you just elaborate on, like, do they teach you how to solve real world problems, or was it more theoretical knowledge that you found that wasn't useful? Like, just be super transparent because I want to show the people like bringing what's bringing the return to the table. Let's see. Degrees teach you soft skills, critical thinking skills, how to research, how to perform proper documentation, network with professors and former students, lead to jobs and internships. All tech skills and no soft skills create an unbalanced tech professional. I agree, right? But some of these degrees don't teach you that. They don't teach you how to research properly, right? And they don't teach you how to perform proper documentation because I've seen hundreds of people who are in, and I keep saying, what's the university? It just slipped the mind. It's the one out of that has the bachelor's of cloud computing right now. Damn, it literally just slipped my mind. I just literally talked about it. But they don't have documented projects. They don't have anything documented that they've done except for a capstone where they worked on it with somebody else. And the documentation is crap on that because they haven't been taught how to properly document. Understand proper documentation can lead to a job in itself, right? Network with professors and former students lead to jobs and internships, right? But WGU, thank you. Appreciate it. Think about this. Like, do you want to spend $200,000 in some, like, once again, right? I want to reiterate, I am not against somebody going into university and getting a degree. If you got one, if you're going to get one, you're bettering yourself. Let's get this straight right now. You're bettering yourself, you're pushing yourself to the next level, right? However, I'm talking about where the actual return comes from. Is it a better return for you to go to college to get into tech, or is it a better return for you to self-study and invest in certifications or invest in a program or invest in a person, a mentor that can work with you one-on-one? Is that the better return, right? And I've seen people get hired faster doing a former, hey, I want to self-study. I could do this. I'm a great self-studier because At the end of the day, that's what the university is going to have you do anyway. Think about it. Universities are, hey, you got this curriculum and you meet with your professor, or especially if it's online, you meet with your professor 15 minutes once a week. What you gonna get out of that? You're just asking questions. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, what's the return? Okay. Um, let's see. Somebody said not really, more theory work mostly, but I got a vendor locked into AWS only. Okay, yep, because that's what happens. Bachelor's and master's in computer engineering, the basics helped me get the job, but I really don't know how to engineer on the job. Thank you, Michael. I've been in the gold cohort here at LU since January, and it's been an eye-opening. Even now, moved in Terraform before we graduate. So it's all about just making it smart. Like, if you think about, that's all I'm saying. If you think about going to college because you feel like you need to go to college or university to get into tech, you don't have to. The smarter play would be to invest in yourself lightly on your journey. Once you get in there, if education, a degree is super important to you, then let them pay for it. Let them pay for your 2 years or your 4 years. And matter of fact, the fact that you done this on your own on a cheaper scale and got some certifications and got the skills and then got the experience, it's going to knock off a shit ton of credits in your college degree. So you'll be able to get your degree even faster and probably cheaper. But even when you go to get your degree, let them pay for it. So we established, like, hey, for those of you who just showing up, we was talking about, hey, what do I do if, like, I don't know what role I want to do. I don't know what, cloudcareerquiz.com. That's a role. I mean, that's a quiz that you can check out a role. Excuse me, y'all. My mind's going 100 miles a minute. I'm looking at all the comments and stuff. This is a quiz we built that kind of maps what you like to do and what you're interested in, and it shows you the cloud role that you'll crush it in. Take it. I want y'all to take it right now and come back with the results and type it in like, hey, I got this role. I got that. Once you got a role that then now we just look up the role and we look at the job description. And I was talking about, hey, the job description can give you clarity on the skills that you need to build to get the job, from the certifications that you need to have, even if they require a college degree. So that's when we got on the college degree path here, where we just started talking and having conversation. Let me check other platforms to make sure we're not missing any questions as well. All right, somebody said, what are you pitching here, my guy? Just curious. A mindset to help you get into cloud. So if you're just joining me, this is what I do on a daily. It's called Cloud Confidence Clinic, where I just have conversations to help you reframe your mind about getting into tech or cloud engineering, because a lot of people want to do this and make this jump, but their mindset has been infested by other people with the negative mindset that tell them, oh man, the tech is saturated. Everywhere has a lot of competition. Like, if you want to be in sales, do you understand, like, sales itself is saturated? If you want to call saturation, it's not saturated, but if you want to feel like it's something saturated, it's sales. But there's no shortage of sales roles, right? The competition is just greater. That's it. And no longer the tactics of 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, etc. is going to get you there. Now we have to reframe our mind to be able to understand the exact things that we need to do and get out of our comfort zone and do it. So Scott 101, that's for you, to let you know what we're here to do every single day. All right. All right. Somebody said, I definitely agree with you. Let them pay for it. Yeah, let them pay for it. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you just jumping on and really kind of showing how it affected you, the education from school. And I'm super happy that it was able to really help you do what you need to do in this industry. I'm pretty sure it's helped millions of other people. But there's no buts. But in this time, right, where things are a little different and education is a little more democratized, if that's the word I'm looking for. Um, Probably not, but where education is more affordable, more reachable in a split second, I don't think that's the best vehicle. Now, the truth is too, for a lot of immigrants that come into to country, getting into tech as well, the culture they've been pushed towards higher education, which is universities. I mean, that's a great thing. But for somebody who can't pay 200,000 for a 4-year degree, there's so many other avenues they can go down that will help them really land a sufficient bag in this industry. Um, but any questions do y'all have? I want to answer some questions as well. Ask questions too. Make sure you put your questions up on here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone for questions, etc. Um, okay. I'm just looking at the platforms, y'all. Please forgive me for looking around, looking crazy. Okay, but please put your questions in the chat. Hello, good afternoon, all. A Benjamin. So, what is the number one thing if you want to be comfortable and just talk? What is the thing that you're afraid of right now when it comes to transitioning to a tech role? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. If I can answer it, I can answer it. If I can't, be like, I don't know, player, but I can kind of reach out to some people and kind of talk about that and see if I can get an answer for you. But what is the number one thing that you're afraid of when it comes to your career transition into tech? Let's see if anybody will put something in the chat. Peace, King. Appreciate you joining. For those who don't know, I'm looking at Instagram as well. So, all right, now, come on with your questions. Come on, or the answer to my question, right? What is the number one thing that you're afraid of when it comes to transitioning to your cloud engineer role or tech role? So, taking AWS exams is scary. Hold on, somebody said something first. I'm sorry, I gotta get to them. AI rapidly replacing jobs. So that is truth, right? But if you learn AI and you stay on the cutting edge of technology, you have that much more job security. And the reason AI is replacing a lot of jobs is because those jobs, let's say like they're manual type jobs. So you don't really see AI replacing a lot of cloud engineering jobs. Now you had AWS laid off some cloud engineering roles, but I don't think that was because of AI. That was because of the budgets that needed to go to AI. So it wasn't AI that was replacing. It was the budget goal that they needed to invest in more AI, data centers, talent, etc. Because that is king right now to those companies. Now you're going to see these companies do the same thing that they did with cloud, which was overspend, didn't calculate the budget, and they're going to look back like, oh my God, we spent $400 million in AI over the last 2 years, and we don't know anything about it. So you're going to see that same mistake, and you're going to see them try to correct that as well. The market's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. That's with everything, right? But the more you learn, the more you earn. That statement has been like the Bible. The more you learn, the more you earn. So if you fear this AI, learn as much as you can about it. Learn how to use it. Learn how it solves problems. Dive in it because that's going to take you to the next level in your career. All right. So Ernest says taking AWS exams are scary. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But guess what? guess what? You'll pass. You got 3 tries, right? So, like, if you fail the first time, so what? You got 14 days to look at your weak areas and come back stronger. And on top of that, I don't think certifications carry weight like they used to carry weight at this moment. So as long as you build those hands-on skills, so what I mean is, as long as you look at the role that you want to land, look how that role is solving problems, or even look at the company that you want to work for. Look how that company is solving problems for their clients, and do that on a lower scale or your level where you can do it on your project on your own and get better and better and use different tools in doing it. That's all that matters. The certifications are just icing on the cake. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes you don't need the certifications. I know plenty of people, and we have plenty of students get roles without certifications, because the reality of it is not everyone is going to pass a certification. So if you can't pass the certification, that doesn't mean you're not good enough. Like, so think about it from this standpoint. I always use this analogy. So what if you and another person went to take a certification exam, right? Let's say it's the AWS Solutions Architect, and you had a bad morning, you didn't get enough sleep, and you went in there, you did the best you could, and you failed. And the person, and let's say you've built your hands-on experience and everything, you got 10 projects on the board, and the person that's taking the exam the same time as you have no projects, but they in the end they got like 5 or 6 questions that they never seen before, and they answered and they just got lucky and passed. Would you say that person has more experience than you or better than you? No, they just got lucky and passed the certification. Like, when you pass the certification and I pass the certification, I can pass at a 701 and you can pass at a 1000. Guess what? That shit does not make a difference when we line our badges up on LinkedIn. Nobody can see the score. I could pass 7 certifications at 701, and you could pass 7 of them at 1,000 out of 1,000. You betting 1,000 out of 1,000, which is 100%. And when we line our badges up on LinkedIn, no one can tell the difference. So don't make them scary. I know you're nervous. You're nervous because you want to do a good job. You want to learn. You want to pass. But even if you don't pass, don't worry about it. Just use the 14 days and come back and knock it out of the park. I believe in you, Ernest. All right. Starting over with something new so late in my career. It's scary because you don't know what's behind the doors, or you don't know if the grass is green on the other side. But guess what? Look at it from another perspective. You're doing what a lot of people are scared to do. A lot of people stay in that career because they feel they've been in it for a long time and didn't settle, because, like, oh, for instance, mom's gonna hate me for this, but back in the day when mom did this insurance company, and I'm like, why are you paying this much for insurance? And we can get your life insurance cheaper and even more. Oh, I've been with them for 20, 30 years. I ain't changing. Because she felt like, because she'd been with them so long, that it was inconvenient for her to change, and like it was a loyalty, but she didn't really understand, like, just because you've been somewhere for or with someone for so long doesn't mean that nothing else is better. It's you you got so many other opportunities that are better for your career, and kudos for you for going out and trying to get that better career. Doesn't matter how long you've been in one. So if you've been whatever in your role for 20 years, 15 years, whatever, all of that is transferable skills to your next career in tech. And you say the quiz is cloud DevOps engineer. All right. So now we just got to understand what role, I mean, what company you like to work for, what type of what industry you want to work in, healthcare, finance, or, automobile or auto industry, whatever. And then look at these skills that they require you to have. And now you know what you need to do to learn those skills and solve the problems. That is all. Let's check out Instagram here. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. Listen, imposter syndrome, while it feels true, it's a lie because the only way the enemy could take away what God has for you as if you let the enemy like if you listen to the enemy and quit. Like if you have the dream of becoming a cloud engineer or just getting into tech, that means the dream is in your heart. God put it there, and you have all the tools and resources to be successful. Right? Let me put this in plain and simple and clear. You, the only thing that will stop you is not the tech, is not the saturation of the industry, is nothing more than your own mindset. That's the only thing that can stop you from being successful. And the enemy knows that's the only way that it can stop you. It's putting doubt, fear, anxiety, all of that in your mind and telling you things that are not making you believe things that are not true. And you listen and then you quit. The best thing for you to do is just to do it scared. Because what happens is you get stronger and stronger and stronger, and the imposter syndrome will come, but you get stronger in handling it. You like, okay, you here, I hear you. All right, we're not listening. I'm still going. But if you do this, you're gonna end your career. No, it's not. Next thing you know, you got promoted. So fear is a liar, imposter syndrome. Why it feels real is just a faux mindset that you have adopted that you just need to get rid of. Never speak what you don't want to happen. So if you feel this certain type of way, don't even speak it. Speak the opposite. If you feel like I'd never be good enough, nope. Speak, I am good enough. I'll never get a job because the industry is saturated. Nope. My job is around the corner. I just need a few more interviews to get stronger and stronger. Put this put this in the chat, everyone. Everyone. I will be successful and I will become a cloud engineer. Put that in the chat. I want everybody to put this in the chat that's on this call. I will be successful and I will be a cloud engineer. I'm a slow learner, so for me, it's not being able to keep up with constant tech changes. No, it's not the fact that you can't keep up with constant tech changes. It's just the fact that you need a little more time to learn what you're learning at the moment. Like the changes are going to change, right? It's just you absorbing what you absorb and then you moving on to the next. I think, and it couldn't, I mean, you know yourself, but it could just be that you're not a slow learner. It could just be that you're expecting perfection out of yourself before you move to the next thing. And perfection doesn't exist. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be an expert in this area before you move to the next area. And that's all tech is, just pushing you out of your comfort zone to move to something new that you are uncomfortable with. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I will be successful and I will be a cloud engineer. Yeah. That's what I want to see. That's the only thing that you need to speak out of your mouth every single day. Every single day. Okay. So I want to just have a little quick chat with y'all. You know, your boy a little tired right now. So we do this daily. Typically 9:30, that's the time. I think that's a perfect time for us. 9:30 every single day. I might take some days off, a couple of days, give your boy a break. But most of the days during the week, I'm gonna be here for you. So with that being said, reach out to me if you have any questions, any concerns, anything that's really holding you back, because I want to just help reshape that mindset. This is what these calls are about. Just giving you the reality of it from my standpoint and to help you move forward in your career the best that we can. So I know you're scared. I know you don't want to do this alone. I know you're looking for guidance. Reach out. I'm here to help, point you in the right direction, see if we can help you, etc. So all that, nah, I ain't no party. I'm not a party person. I think that's Eric. But yeah, let's join the next one. I appreciate y'all coming through today and come through tomorrow. Bring a friend, tell people about it. Okay. Um, Tomorrow, let's do something that moves us towards our goal, whether we read an article, whether we learn something new, whether we do something new, move, do, or read something that just takes you to the next level in your career every single day. And these things compound no matter how little or how big every day, but slow progress is better than no progress. And if you're a person that just really needs to get out of that mindset, just make slow progress every day. And eventually we'll help you work out that mindset. All right. Reach out if you have any questions. Sorry, Otuto. I understand it could be frustrating when you're applying, but guess what? Keep going. Your job is there. It's a company that's waiting for someone like you. You have to go through the nose to get the yes. Okay. That's just you building strength and building confidence. All right. All right. So see y'all tomorrow. Reach out if you need any help. All right. Bye.